Now You Know BC is brought to you by Return It. Don't trash your empty beverage containers. Return them for the deposit refund.
Welcome to Now You Know BC. I'm Bob Kronbauer, also known as BC Bob, and on this show I introduce you to interesting people, places to go, things to see, things that have happened in the past. You will hear our collective stories. Usually I have an overarching topic for each episode, but we're getting close to the end of our first season here, and I've got a bunch of mostly unrelated stories that haven't yet fit into the themes that I have focused on this season. So it's a bit of a grab bag today, and you're gonna learn a ton of stuff. From the fact that Expo Ernie is alive and well, to the reason why they no longer have life insurance vending machines at airports here, to things you should see and do when you're in Revelstoke. Let's dig in. Did you know that the online children's game Club Penguin was founded in Kelowna and that they kept their headquarters there even after they got sold to Disney for $350 million? It's true. It was founded by 3 dudes who had young kids, and their goal was to create a safe online space where children from the ages of 6 to 14 could play games and chat with each other. And they did just that with great success. Their online community was kind of like a social network for kids. It went live in 2005, and it was way ahead of its time. Club Penguin grew super quickly, and like I said, was bought by Disney just 2 years after it launched for $350 million. At its peak, it had 500 employees and tens of millions of kids were using this. Sadly, kids eventually stopped using it and it ended up shutting down in 2017, but its founders walked away with a ton of cash and they still actively invest in Kelowna businesses. Speaking of businessmen, you might not have known that BC's richest man, Jimmy Pattison, owns Expo Ernie. The guy who also owns Save On Foods and a ton of other businesses served as the CEO for Expo 86. And when the fair wrapped up, he bought the 6 or 7 Expo Ernies that had been built for it. And I'm so sorry if you were a kid and you went to Expo, and I'm bursting your bubble, but yes, there were multiple Ernies. Only one of them would make an appearance at a time, but they had backups. And now all those backups are in storage at Jimmy's Save On Foods headquarters out in Langley, British Columbia. They keep one of them in tip-top shape with brand new battery technology and a new remote system because the old ones were, let's just say Ernie wasn't as far advanced as he seemed back in 1986. I met with him recently, Ernie, not Jimmy, and I can say that he is absolutely in great shape. I'm not sure what kind of shape Jimmy is in, but I imagine he's doing okay. Once a prestigious global mascot for the World Exposition on Transportation and Communication, he now represents a chain of BC-owned grocery stores, which is actually fine with me because Save On Foods keeps him in great shape and they're doing their part to keep the spirit of Expo 86 alive and well, which is something that cannot be said about the people who bought the McBarge. In case you're unaware, it set sail during Expo, and it's one of the only floating McDonald's in all of Canada, or at least it was. It capsized on the Fraser River this year, and I would like to take this opportunity to deny any and all rumors that I was the one that sank this thing. Was I fed up that the owners kept announcing that they were going to turn it into a new floating restaurant, then a float plane port, then a floating science center, but that they never came through on their promises, and so the thing just sat there and rusted for almost 40 years? Sure. Did I write a newspaper column saying that I thought it should be sunk? And then did I double down and make multiple videos for social media saying the exact same thing? Yes, I did do that. Am I a criminal who would go out of their way to make sure that nobody ever enjoyed this wonder of burger delivery innovation ever again? Heck no, come on. I wanted to make sure it was around for generations to enjoy it. For years, I've told anybody who would listen that they should drag the McBarge out to Porto Cove, just off the Sea to Sky Highway, halfway between Vancouver and Squamish. And it is there that I figured they should scuttle it and make it accessible to scuba divers who already explore shipwrecks there. They've been intentionally put down there. I figured it would be the best way to have anyone be able to enjoy this thing, as it clearly was not going to be turned into a restaurant or anything else for that matter after many, many broken promises. And now it's just stuck in the mud on its side in the Fraser River near Mission, where it will likely remain until it completely rusts away. And now you know. Each week, I show you an artifact that I think is an important part of BC's history. And since I'm trying to cram a whole lot into this episode today, I'm bringing you two. Both are hats, both are from the 80s, and both celebrate BC Place. I bought this hard hat off of one of the best antique malls in BC. It's located in Ladysmith, and there are more than 40 vendors there who have booths. It's an amazing spot. I stop every time I'm there. It's an old heritage building that used to be a post office, and is of course called the Post Office Antique Mall. The hard hat says, "I helped raise the roof at BC Place," and it's one of 2,000 that were given away on November 14th, 1982 at the grand opening of BC's brand new publicly owned stadium. 16 dignitaries were there, and they were all invited to turn on the air compressors that raised the roof. 2,000 workers, reporters, politicians, and guests were inside when they flipped the switches and inflated the thing. All 2,000 of them were wearing one of these helmets. And 40 years later, some idiot walked into the antique mall and paid $10 for this thing. Can you believe that? The second hat is one that you could buy throughout the mid-80s, back when people really took a lot of time and effort to make fun, quality merch. I found this on Facebook Marketplace for $25. And in a perfect full circle moment for the hat, I went and I met the person I was going to buy it off of at a Vancouver Whitecaps game inside BC Place, which is where they first sold it. Obviously, it looks like the big bubble dome. And of course, it no longer looks like that because it burst in the winter of 2007 after too much snow built up on it. So they went on to replace it with a $514 million retractable roof that is in fact the world's largest cable-supported, fully retractable fabric roof. We're gonna go to break, and when we get back, I'm gonna talk to Vancouver's most famous slug, Charlie Demers. Welcome back to the show. My guest today is a dear old friend of mine. He's not that old. He's a comedian and an author. His name is Charlie Demers. He's one of the funniest people in Canada. He's often heard on CBC's The Debaters. He plays a slug on Beat Bugs, and he plays a character on The Last Kids on Earth. And you'll soon hear his voice on a new animated series called Super Team Canada. Thanks for joining me, Charlie.
Oh, thank you very much for having me, Bob.
What's the deal with the show?
Well, this is the latest offering from Will Arnett's production company, and it is the very first Crave animated adult series.
Oh, it's for adults.
It is, yes, it is a very grown-up. Children. I think will illicitly enjoy this if they've maybe snuck down the stairs. They're watching it from the back of the room while their parents don't know that they're kind of getting in on the action. But yes, this is a very grown-up, not to say mature, but grown-up cartoon. And it is about a team of Canadian superheroes, and I get to play one of those superheroes.
What's the name of your superhero?
My superhero's name is Poutine.
Oh,
yeah.
What the little I know about this.
Yes.
He's Quebecois.
He is.
He is a lumberjack, maybe.
He's definitely got that vibe. He's got that he's very butch, and he definitely gives big lumberjack daddy vibes.
And he shoots poutine out of potatoes that are on his arms.
Yes, he has potato forearm this is maybe not good. I don't know show canon wise if this is if these are sort of naturally outgrowths of his arm, or whether these are kind of mechanisms. I should probably have checked with the producers before doing any media. Yeah, we might
dig into the backstory.
Really get into the backstory. Yeah, he does. I shouldn't say. We maybe his relationship, with potatoes might be explored in the show. I should say no more than that. I've already probably said too much.
Okay.
But he is a very, very funny character. I got to dig deep into my father's accent and really kind of push far past my father's accent into doing this character. But we all had a ton of fun doing this. Some terrific local performers here in Vancouver, but then also some just like all-time Canadian legends who lent their voices and lent their talents to this show. Bryan Adams did the theme song. It's a kind of full Team Canada press, and that gives people something to kind of bring them together to have some fun in this kind of anxious moment. That would be my highest hope for the way that this lands.
And people can watch it where and when?
They'll be able to watch it on Crave. It'll be coming out 2 episodes every Friday, 2 half-hour episodes every Friday, starting on May 16th.
And your work is done for this season?
My work is done for this season. Fingers crossed that people are as excited about it as we are, and that we get to do more of these. I would love to. I mean, the team that got put together for this was just sensational, and I loved spending every minute I got to with them. To get to do poutine, to get to honor that part of my family's history, to get to have fun in that sort of sandbox it was an intense pleasure, and I would love to get to do it for as long as we can.
It's one of my favorite bits that you do is the French Canadian. I didn't realize that it was of your father.
Well, I mean, it's my dad is my dad is very, very good. And he's been speaking English now for like
your
45 years.
Over the top,
yes,
obviously.
But I used to do all of the, for instance, on This Is That on CBC Radio, the wonderful show starring 2 brilliantly talented fellas from Calgary. Incidentally, I believe the creators of this show, the Coen brothers, our Coen brothers, are also from Calgary originally. But the This Is That boys, they could do every voice under the sun. They couldn't do the Quebec accent. And so I was always brought in for any voice on This Is That was, so when we did the bilingual dog parks, when we did, I think, what were some of the that Quebec's the translations on the cereal boxes were now going to be in poetry instead of prose? Just various sort of Quebec stories. That was always me on This Is That. Caitlin Howden, if it was a female character, and if it was a male francophone, that was always me, and that was always one of my great pleasures.
I think viewers would be upset if I didn't ask you to do the character.
Sorry, I didn't see that coming. Well, I'll let them wait. I'll let them wait. I'll let them wait for May 16th to hear poutine.
Fair.
So here's what I'll do. I'll do my grandfather. So this is
perfect.
Because my grandfather. So my daddy does this one. It's just he doesn't have it's not this thick anymore, but it's that the one that you hear. But my grandfather had a special thing that is kind of runs through the Quebecois accent. I don't know what causes it. Chantal Hébert on CBC has this one, although I think she's Franco-Ontarian. And I don't know what explains it, but it's this bubble that come up in the throat, and when you speak English, there's a bubble in there. And so my grandfather, he would do that, and he went, Charlie, today bean, he likes bologna with his bean, Charlie, we make it. And my grandfather would make bologna on the barbecue. He would slice the bologna and put it on the barbecue and go feed the deer.
That's all the time that we have, Charlie. I was gonna make a recommendation. Go to Charlie's favorite restaurant. It is called the Argo. We don't have enough time to talk about it, but he might do it in accent in their next TV commercial.
Quebecois chef. Denis Larouche.
In that
I
restaurant?
believe. Yeah, I know I'm getting the first name right. I believe I'm getting the last name right. But it is, like my family, the Argo is a Quebecois Chinese bundle of Vancouver love.
Fantastic.
So yeah,
Okay,
go to
visit
the
the
Argo.
Argo.
Yeah.
You should definitely go to the Argo. We're going to a break. When we get back, Nina is going to be on the street talking to people. Welcome back to Now You Know BC. Nina is out on the street talking to people about Canadian snacks. Nina.
I'm Nina Savage, and this is Street Survey. Today we're here at Dankmart, where you can find snacks from all over the world. But today we're talking about Canada and Canadian snacks. What are your favorites? Let's find out before I get hungry. I'll say a Canadian snack, and you guys can rate it out of 10.
Okay.
Okay, we'll start off coffee crisp.
Oh, 9.
7.
I want to say coffee crisp. Like, it is a good one. It is something that like a lot of Americans don't have.
And how about hickory sticks?
Oh, it looks like this tiny little thing. Oh, I used to munch on those. Make a big mess of crumbs.
All dressed chips.
Ooh, 8.
10.
I personally, like, this is a hot take. I prefer like Ruffles plain. No, like, and I'll eat it with no dip.
Ketchup chips.
0.
What's your beef with ketchup chips?
I hate them. I just hate them. I think they taste horrible.
Ketchup chips.
There's no skill. That's like a legendary item right there. That's like 100 out of 10 right there.
And finally, poutine.
Oh yeah, same level as Lay's ketchup chips. Like, just amazing staple of Canada. 1,000,000 out of 10.
Poutine, that's like the only thing like I know that's truly Canadian. Like, I feel like everything else comes from other countries and stuff. So
I think it depends on the cheese curds. If it's melted properly, absolutely, I will have that any day of the week.
I really liked it, I have to say. It was like, first I was like, I don't think I will like it because I'm not the biggest fan of gravy, but together with the cheese, it was actually pretty good, yeah.
Well, it depends on the store, but from A&W, it's a solid 8.
I love poutine, honestly. I agree. You gotta get the ratios right. Like, too much, I'm not a big gravy gal, so too much gravy is just not for me.
Hawaiian pizza, also invented in Canada.
overrated. Overrated. Hawaiian pizza, pineapple does not belong. Give me all the meat on the pizza.
Nanaimo bars?
Nanaimo bars.
4.
I've never.
What's your beef with Nanaimo bars?
Disgusting.
Yeah, those are really good. Yes.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. We buy them at the ice cream store all the time.
Oh, yeah, I like those.
Yeah.
They're really good. If people say Nanaimo bars are gross, they have the wrong taste buds.
I just have never liked them. Like, I was young, my mom always loved them and like would force stuff on me, and I just like, I never really resonated with them. They don't taste that great.
So we're canceling the Nanaimo bar in 2025.
I think 2025 we're all canceling the Nanaimo bar, but don't quote me. Don't quote me now, but
You're gonna get canceled.
canceling it. I'm canceling.
Canadian food is a little more controversial than I thought, but I loved hearing your hot takes. This is Street Survey, and I'm Nina Savage.
We're going on a BC road trip to Revelstoke, which is on the traditional territory of the Sinixt, the Secwepemc, the Sialk, and the Ktunaxa First Nations. Revelstoke is a great place to travel in the winter or the summer. I actually prefer the summer because I do own a snowboard, but I don't like to be cold. I don't want to go on multi-day cold weather adventures, and I've actually only ever spent time in Revelstoke when it's warm. So that's what you're gonna get today. The last time I went, I stayed at a cute little spot called the Swiss Chalet Motel. And I know that the name might make you think of an affordable rotisserie chicken dinner, but it's not that kind of Swiss chalet. It's like an actual chalet. The rooms are all nice and modern, and they're affordable. The starting rate is $109 a night. Revelstoke is of course known for its mountain resort that has great skiing and snowboarding, yes. But in the summer, there's also a lot going on here. The best of it is the mountain coaster. It's called the Pipe, and there are actually 2 different tracks that you can go down. They're both 1.4 kilometers long. You buy your pass and start down in the village, where you'll take a gondola up, you get a great view, then a wild ride down the mountain on your very own little roller coaster thing. It goes through the forest and it goes fast. but you control the speed of it if you want to take it slow. You don't have to go super fast. When I went, I wasn't even sure if I was gonna like it, but I wound up going up and down tons of times. I spent the whole day there. It was so much fun. One tip I'll give you is to arrive as soon as they open in the day so you can avoid the lines, because this is a very popular attraction. When you get back into town, you might want to check out the Railway Museum. You don't have to be crazy about trains to enjoy this spot. I think trains are just fine, and I loved it here. I learned a lot about the area's colonial history and how the town was developed, and I got to sit in a train. There are a few great restaurants in town, and above the rest, I suggest a visit to the Village Idiot. That's where all the locals go. And then a trip across the street to Monashi Spirits Craft Distillery. They make their own whiskey, gin, and vodka, and their tasting room is where you're gonna have one of the best cocktails you've ever had. Enjoy your BC road trip. Welcome back to the show. We're gonna do a giveaway, but first, some stories you need to hear. Did you know that Vancouver's International Airport, YVR, used to have life insurance vending machines from which passengers could purchase last-minute insurance before boarding their flights? The machines were first installed by an insurance underwriting company in 1951. And at that time, for every quarter you plugged into the machine, you get $5,000 worth of life insurance. The maximum you could initially buy was $25,000 worth of insurance for $1.25, and that eventually went up to $75,000 maximum. You were insured for accidental loss of life, limb or sight, and other injuries while you were on the flight that you boarded that you paid the insurance for. Pilots lobbied against the machines for years after a number of insurance frauds were perpetuated, and they feared that selling insurance like this encouraged the sabotage of flights. And in fact, in the States, there was a case where a man confessed to buying insurance from one of these machines at the Denver airport on behalf of his mother, who he sent on a trip by herself. He said goodbye as he handed her a wrapped Christmas gift to bring on board, and which she didn't know had an explosive device in it, which exploded in midair, and all 44 people on board died as a result of Jack Gilbert Graham's bomb, which consisted of 25 sticks of dynamite and a timing device. He was tried and convicted, then just 3 months later, he was executed. In 1968, the machines were effectively banned from YVR after they had opened a new terminal, and they haven't been back since. You never will see these machines again. And now you know. I'm giving away one of these BC dogwood hats that I personally designed and which were embroidered in a shop in Vancouver called True North Screen Printing. To be entered to win, simply sign up for my newsletter at bcbob.ca, where I'll be randomly selecting a winner. That's the show for this week. Big thanks to Derek Wong and Nina Savage, our editor, Arav, and lastly, thank you to all the gig workers who deliver food day in and day out and who should probably get paid more than they do. Also, very lastly, thank you, for not mentioning this stain that I have on my sweatshirt. It was there the whole time, and I really appreciate that you didn't bring it up to the person that's sitting next to you watching this show. You can watch more of it on CHEK Plus, and I'll see you next week when we explore more stories about this great province of ours. And now you know BC.
Now you know BC is brought to you by Return It. Don't trash your empty beverage containers, return them for the deposit refund.